こんにちは。Welcome to Learn Japanese with Masa Sensei. This is episode 105. Today in this episode, we will learn about no, which comes at the end of the sentence. Now let's go. In a casual conversation, we often use no at the end of the sentence. These are the contracted form of のですか and んですか. In my previous episode, we have learned about this のですか and んですか. Let's review it. のですか and んですか is used for question, interpretation, reason, emphasize, and request. So for example, where do you go? We can say, どこへ行きますか? However, in a conversation, we will normally make this into plain form plus んですか or のですか? So we will say, どこへ行くんですか? どこへ行くんですか? This means, where do you go? So when you use no instead of のですか and んですか, this is used to ask questions to the familiars or children. So we need to raise your voice at the end of the sentence. This is often used in the plain style conversation, and this is used by both men and women. So for example, どこへ行くんですか? We can change this んですか into の。どこへ行くの? どこへ行くの? So this means, where are you going? We would often use this in a plain style conversation. Another example. Why are you late? To be late is 遅れます. Past tense, 遅れました. So we will make this into plain form first. 遅れた. And then, んですか? どうして遅れたんですか? どうして遅れたんですか? So this means, why are you late? Now in a plain style conversation, we will use の. どうして遅れたの? どうして遅れたの? Why are you late? What are you doing? To do something is します. Doing is 手 form plus います. So it becomes しています. Plain form will be している. So, 何をしているんですか? 何をしているんですか? This means, what are you doing? Now let's change this into plain style conversation. We will use の. 何をしているの? 何をしているの? This means, what are you doing? So when you ask a question, you will use plain form plus の, adjective plus の, adjective plus なの, noun plus なの. The second usage is interpretation. It is used for an interpretation or a confirmation of what the listener said. So for example, you're talking to someone and that person is saying that he hasn't eaten anything since morning. And you can ask, so are you hungry? To be hungry is お腹が空いています. So plain form will be お腹が空いている. And then we will put together with んですか? お腹が空いているんですか? お腹が空いているんですか? So this means, so are you hungry? In a plain style conversation, we will change this into の. So it becomes お腹が空いているの? お腹が空いているの? So are you hungry? Another example. Your kid is staring at a toy. And then you will ask, oh, do you want this? In a polite conversation, it will go like this. これが欲しいんですか? これが欲しいんですか? In a plain style conversation, it becomes これが欲しいの? これが 欲しいの? Do you want this? So if it's a question or interpretation, we will raise the voice at the end of the sentence. And this is often used in the plain style conversation, used by both men and women. However, you can also use no at the end of the sentence for declarative sentences. It means that when you want to describe about the reason, or when you want to emphasize something, or request something, we can use this no at the end of the sentence. However, this is mainly used by women and children. So, んです and のです is used to express reasons. It is used when the speaker is going to do something and the speaker explains the situation which are not expressed in words. So, for example, if someone asks you, why are you late? And you want to answer, because the bus didn't come. So, the bus didn't come will be, バスが来ませんでした。バスが来ませんでした。Plain form will be, バスが来なかった。バスが来なかった。And then we will put んです at the end. So, バスが来なかったんです。バスが来なかったんです。This means because the bus didn't come. In a plain style conversation, we will use no at the end of the sentence. So we can say, バスが来なかったの。バスが来なかったの。So in this case, this is not a question, so we will drop the tone. バスが来なかったの。Another example. Because it was raining. It is raining is 雨が降っています。雨が降っています。Plain form, 雨が降っている。雨が降っている。Put together with んです。雨が降っているんです。雨が降っているんです。This means because it is raining. In a plain style conversation, we will use no. 雨が降っているの。雨が降っているの。Let's do another example. Because I lost my key. I lost my key is 鍵をなくしました。鍵をなくしました。Plain form, 鍵をなくした。鍵をなくした。And then we will put together with んです。鍵をなくしたんです。鍵をなくしたんです。In a plain style conversation, we will use no. 鍵をなくしたの。鍵をなくしたの。So again, when you want to talk about the reason, we can use this no at the end of the sentence. However, this is mainly used for women and children. It sounds a bit girlish, so men would not use it often. The fourth usage of no des and n des is when you want to emphasize something. It is used to emphasize the meaning of the sentence. Often comes together with emphasize adverbs such as 本当に really, とても very, etc. For example, this apple is really delicious. このリンゴは本当に美味しいです。Now we will change this into plain form and put together with んです。このリンゴは本当に美味しいんですよ。このリンゴは本当に美味しいんですよ。We will often use yo at the end of a sentence when we want to emphasize something. And in a plain style conversation, we can also use no at the end of the sentence. It becomes このリンゴ本当に美味しいの。このリンゴ本当に美味しいの。Another example. This exam is very difficult. It becomes このテストはとても難しいです。So we will change this into plain form and put together with んです。このテストはとても難しいんですよ。このテストはとても難しいんですよ。Now, in a plain style conversation, we will use not at the end of the sentence. このテストはとても難しいの。このテストはとても難しいの。So again, this no used at the end of the sentence in a declarative sentence, it is mainly used by women and children. The last usage of んです and のです is when you want to make a request. It is used when the speaker would like to make a request or before the speaker make a request. For example, I would like you to take that cup. That cup is そのコップ、そのコップ。I want you to take. This will be 手本 plus 欲しいです。So it becomes 取って欲しいです。取って欲しいです。This means I want you to take. So we will make this into plain form and put together with んです。そこのコップを取って欲しいんですが、そこのコップを取って欲しいんですが。When you want to make a request, we often use が at the end. So it becomes んですが and then we will drop the tone. This means I would like you to take that cup. Now in a plain style conversation, we will use not at the end of the sentence. So it becomes そこのコップを取ってほしいの。そこのコップを取ってほしいの。Another example. I would like you to call me at 5. So at 5 o'clock will be 5時に。I want you to call me. So 手本 plus 欲しいです。It becomes 5時に電話してほしいです。5時に電話してほしいです。We will change into plain form and put together with んですが。So it becomes 5時に電話してほしいんですが。5時に電話してほしいんですが。In a plain style conversation, we will change this into の。So it becomes 5時に電話してほしいの。5時に電話してほしいの。So today in this lesson we learned about の which comes at the end of the sentence. These are the contracted form of のですか and んですか のですか and んですか is used for question, interpretation, reason, emphasize, and request. So we can replace のですか and んですか into の. However, one thing that we have to note is if it's a question or interpretation, both man and woman can use. If it's reason, emphasize, or request, mainly women and children will use. So this is all for today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope it was helpful for you. If you're interested in Japanese grammars, please follow my YouTube channel. The link is in the description box. I also have Facebook page and Instagram page, so please follow them as well. I will see you in the next episode. ありがとうございました。バイバイ。